Hello my friends and welcome back. In this video I want to talk about spicy books. Well, to an extent. You see, more specifically, I want to talk about the different levels of spicy in a book or a movie. Now to back up just a pinch, in case you didn't know, my name is Frank James Bailey. I'm a voice actor and a writer. This is one of the latest books that I wrote. It's called The Taming of April. I always promote this as, if this was a movie, it would be rated R. Kind of like The 40-Year-Old Virgin or Wedding Crashers. So it's definitely not too spicy, but it's definitely not for kids. But speaking of kids, I did write the Turkana comic book series as well. There are a total of 7 comics altogether. I'm working on number 8. And if you want to know more about Turkana, you gotta go to Turkana.com. And since I'm plugging that right now, I might as well plug something else too. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel here, like this video, and make a comment as well, because every little bit helps. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Again, spicy books. I have to be honest, I have not read that many spicy books. I know of them. Matter of fact, the most popular one that I know of is 50 Shades of Grey. Again, I don't know how spicy it was, because I never read it, but I do know it was turned into a movie. Apparently, it's about ropes and bondage and I don't know, something like that. But like I said, I'm sure it's a very spicy book. Now personally, I believe there are 5 different levels of spicy to a book. Now just to make it easy to understand, I'm going to compare these to movie ratings. So, number 1 is like a PG-13 movie. There won't be any nudity, and there might be some indications of sexual stuff, but nothing too far. Again, it's a PG-13 movie. The second level I like to call rated R. You got your very heavy kissing, you got your sexual indication stuff, you got your adult flirting. These are the kind of books that I like to say are made for adults, but they're not, well, you know, adult stuff. They're not super spicy. And like I said, I compare my book, The Taming of April, to a rated R movie. After that, we have spicy level number 3, which is like an NC-17 movie. For me, this one's not too far off from spicy level number 4, which I like to call mature audience. A lot of streaming services use mature audience instead of NC-17. To me, they're generally the same. They're definitely for adults. They're definitely indicating a lot. There's probably lots of nudity. There might be lots of blood and guts. There might be horror stuff. Stuff definitely the kid should not see. This is definitely a level above rated R. But it's also below what I like to call a level 5 spicy. To me, a level 5 spicy is like an X-rated movie. You know what I'm talking about. Those websites you shouldn't go to because your computer is probably going to get a virus. Yeah, that to me is a level 5 spicy. Now let's put this in book form. My original Turkana books were targeted 8 to 12-year-olds. So technically that's really below PG-13. But as the series grew into comics, and it got just a pinch bit more violent, not too much, and it got a pinch bit more mature, I like to say my Turkana comics are kind of like PG-13 now. There might be a few things that really young kids might not get, but I still like to say Turkana comics are for all ages. Because there's nothing in there that's sexual, there's nothing in there that's super violent. It's just the topics are kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know what I mean? Alright, let's compare another one of my books to the spicy rating system that I sort of created. Like I said, The Taming of April is kind of like a rated R movie. So to me, it's a spicy level number 2. My next set of books I'm working on are the Olivia wrestling books. Now, just so you know, Olivia starts off as a bouncer at the strip bar where her sister Emma works. So yeah, it's probably leans toward R, but it's definitely not NC-17. To me, the wrestling books are kind of like between PG-13 and R, if there was a between there somewhere. Because there's sexual talk in it, but it's mostly about her wrestling career. Although, like I said, her sister Emma works in a gentleman's club. Olivia is a 6'6" bouncer at that club, and some guy happens to find her and turns her into a professional wrestler. But meanwhile, in her personal life, her sister still works there. So that's why it's somewhere between PG-13 and R, but it's definitely not too spicy. Alright, another book I'm working on is a horror book. I'm hoping to publish this sometime next year, late summer, early fall, just in time for Halloween. I want to say the spicy level in this is probably between a 2 and a 3. There is some sexual content, but not that bad. It's definitely a little more than R, but it's not, you know, adult. You know what I mean? The story, of course, is about a guy named Steve James. He's divorced, he has a kid, he's living on his own in Youngstown, Ohio, in a very tiny, small apartment. He works at a factory 12 hours a day, and he's very, very depressed. But the thing is, he's a writer. He loves and urges to write more. He just doesn't have the confidence to write more. Until one day, he meets this girl that likes his fan fiction stories that he put online. So he writes these 3 new stories and tells her all about them. And that's where the, well, rated R NC-17 kind of comes in. One of the stories is a little bit spicy, but again, it's a horror book. It's a horror story. It's a thriller. So part of the spice in this story that he tells her is because the girl is sort of turned on by what's going on. But again, I'm not publishing that until next year, but that's probably the most spicy book I have, if you want to call it that. And again, it's not coming out till next year. So there is my levels of spiciness for books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, PG-13, R, NC-17, mature audience. I know 3 and 4 are kind of one of the same, and definitely number 5 is, well, yeah, X-rated. Now I'm going to ask you guys, if you read spicy books of any sort, what is the level of spiciness do you like in your book? For me, I think probably between R and NC-17 about as far as I'll go. I like story over sexual stuff, but it's fun to add that element to it sometimes. But of course, you also have to know who your audience is as well. So now I'll leave the question up to you. What is the level of spiciness that you like in your books? I hope to hear from you. That's all for now. And again, as always, thank you for your support.